If you've been keeping up with our buddy read from the very beginning, you already know I'm Allison, and we are making our way through Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret by Benjamin Stevenson. And we're finally going to find out who did it and how. So excited to get to the end of this book. I keep running through theories, and I've got nothing. I have no clue how Lyle died and who our culprit is, but we're going to find out during this video. So, even though it's supposed to be a chapter a day, today is actually December 23rd. Christmas Eve is tomorrow. I'm not done shopping. I haven't wrapped. It's just, I'm accepting defeat this year and just going with it. But because of all of that, I am going to go ahead and read through to the end right now. So hopefully this video will go up on time the day after Christmas. I figure that's my only shot at making my deadline. But we will still bounce around my house today. Oh, just in case you missed one, I will put all of the videos up to this point. So if you need to backtrack, you can, so you don't accidentally spoil yourself before you get to the end of the book. Of course, if you haven't read all the way through, you can read along with me and just pause whenever the little title screens come up. Y'all had some new theories after the last video went up that I didn't even consider. But before we talk about those, I do want to clarify. It was Megan who thought that there was a trap door underneath the guillotine and everything, and that might explain how Rylan was decapitated by paper. And then Amanda also thought that maybe there was a weapon coming up from below, that was how it happened. So kudos to both of you, because I was just baffled by it, as we all know. Now there's a couple of new theories, so let me go refresh my memory and then I will share them with you. So Wanda agrees with me with the hypnotist theory that Teresa may have hypnotized Aaron, and that's how she doesn't remember what actually happened when Lyle was killed and how she's got blood on her hands and her face. I can imagine how terrifying that would be to wake up to. And she also thinks that that would explain why Teresa was willing to stand in front of the bullet when Rylan was under the gun, literally. So, you know, suspicion, I think, is falling on Teresa. And I would think maybe Sam as well, her twin, assuming that they are close, which they seem to be since they both put themselves in harm's way, or at least it appeared that way. And Megan's also liking the hypnotist theory, and she's wondering, you know, if Flick is involved somehow. And I am too, because we haven't had much regarding Flick, but yet she seems like a very dominant personality. So I would assume her fingers are in this a little bit more than we're led to believe up to this point. So I'll be curious to see if she's popping up a little bit more as we get towards the end of the book. So Amanda had a couple of interesting theories I hadn't even considered. And she's wondering, if we take into account that Lyle had called in an upcoming murder, and then he wrote the word Christmas in blood when he was dying, what if he's warning that the upcoming murder is supposed to actually happen on Christmas? What if it's a warning? So are we going to have a third one on Christmas Day? That would not be very festive, would it? But it would make for a really fun addition to a murder mystery. So I really want to know the significance of Chris. Christmas. See, I'm still hung up on that first theory that they wrote Chris, that Lyle wrote Chris instead of Christopher. Or Christmas. Oh my, I'm all over the place. And Amanda's other idea ties into the needle mark on Lyle, and you know, that little sliver of glass. We're thinking it came from a syringe at this point. At least that's what we're being led to believe. But she's wondering, what if Lyle was injected with air? So air in the bloodstream would have killed him. Wouldn't show anything up on a toxicology report. And could potentially he have already been dead whenever Aaron found him? So, and to take it a step further, what if she didn't actually stab him? What if somebody else did it after they injected the air into his bloodstream? And she just has the blood on her hands and everything from discovering the murder scene. and she just went upstairs. So could be part of the hypnotism. So, because I really don't want to see Aaron as a guilty party in this, but I don't know. I can't wait to find out though. So let's continue bouncing around my house and find out what yesterday's chapter was. Maybe we'll get some more insight. I'm sure we will. The question is, how many more questions is it going to cause to be bouncing around in my head? I have a feeling we're going to be in for a few twists and turns before we make it to the conclusion. All right, let's move and find a spot. Okay, I think I finally found a spot. I am hoping I'm not going to regret this, because I'm actually sitting at the bar. There's my island right there. And we have Jack. So let's see how this spot goes. The cats consider this their domain because I wash my dishes. This is the sink right here. And they like to keep an eye on everything that happens around them. Okay, so we have another gift to Teresa Lynn, and it's a secret who it's from. This is chapter 22 on December 22nd. He's just a void, no color. So Sam told Lyle what was going to happen. Apparently she's overheard something maybe. I don't think she's the guilty party. Just her body language and everything. She's acting like she's scared. I wonder if it's her twin sister. You know, the hypnotist. Oh, Teresa burst into the room. I bet Sam would have given Ernest quite a bit of information, but I bet she's going to clam up. Well, maybe Teresa is just worried about Sam relapsing with her drug use. Feasible. Oh, looks like she may have attempted suicide at some point, and that may be Teresa's real concern. Very feasible concern. She's saying that's not how it happened. She did a break-in and she got cut by glass. Or at least Teresa was. Maybe Teresa did do it to protect her sister because she said she would do anything. And he specifically refers to her hypnotic gaze. I'm thinking Teresa's got her little fingers in the pie somehow. So Teresa's saying hypnotism doesn't make them forget. Not really. It's still there. She covers it up more than deletes it. Apparently hypnotism was used to help manage withdrawals for the people in the Pierce Foundation back in the day. And learning that is what made Teresa decide to study it. It looks like it was Flick's idea to hire Rylan, even though they were aware of his drug use. She wanted the money more than, I guess, staying true to the principles. Oh, Rylan offered Sam cocaine. And Teresa became a guard dog. Everyone's got 2 secrets, actually, if you include the Secret Santa. Oh, presents. Okay, the big blue box was the one that was to Rylan. And that was one of our tags at the very beginning. The box was empty. The box was empty, so why bother buying a present for a dead man? I just solved a murder. Just one. Teresa asked. Yeah, which one? One that never happened. Dead man's present. So, is Rylan not dead after all? Was that all, like I said before, a misdirection to make us forget about what's going on with Lyle? Or is it the other way? Is Lyle not dead and Rylan was the target to begin with, or all along? Because Rylan's, he's creating some trouble. He's a jerk, for one, and he's putting the people who are in the actual foundation, which Lyle really cares about, at risk for having a relapse. I don't know. Dead man's present. Oh, thankfully, I don't have to wait because of time crunches and everything, so I get to move right on. Let's move to a new spot, though. Okay, here we go. Let's try it out here. Like I said, we'll just kind of bounce around. Pretend that I'm filming this on different days. And I just have a whole bunch of red turtlenecks. Now, before we get back into it, though, I want to know, at this point, because obviously you have read all the way to the very end, unless you're reading along with me, but who do you think was the fake murder? Who actually died and who didn't? Jack apparently is invested in the story, and he's going to just hover in the background everywhere. So if I can move my... You're getting a copy of the ring light in the tree. I mean, the TV. Okay, ready? I still want to... I don't know. Who's... No gift was in Rylan's. Okay, I want to think about this for a second. So they knew he would be dead when they set up Secret Santa. So if we know who had Rylan for their Secret Santa, that would tell us a lot. But I don't know which one of them is actually dead. I'm going to bet Lyle's not dead. And Josh is aware of this. And he's been in on it all along from the beginning. That's how he knows all the information about Lyle's murder scene and everything, because this is all a misdirection to actually get rid of Rylan. That's what I'm going with. Okay, so which means Erin is innocent because there was no crime committed against Lyle, and she doesn't remember because she had to believe that it really happened. That's my... And Teresa hypnotized her to, again, this is all one big elaborate plan to get rid of Rylan. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see if I'm going to be surprised. Well, it's really mean to put Erin through all of that, because we're now back with her. Wait. He had solved one hypothetical murder, which had possibly tailgated and run up the back of the other two. The ones that actually happened. Are we gonna have another one on Christmas? Because there's only been 2 so far in this book, but one didn't happen. Oh. Okay, he's still got me. I don't know. Who was Sullivan? Is that the cop? Ernest shared his theory with Sullivan. Oh, he must be, because he said he wasn't buying it. Otherwise, he'd be on the other side of these, indicating the bars, I would assume. What if Rylan and Lyle killed each other? Kind of goes in with that theory of what I was thinking. Oh, this makes sense that Lyle's the one who went and rigged the guillotine, and that's why he had the schematics in his office, and why there was a little bit of blood in their bathroom if he had cut his finger on the glass. It is adding up. Yeah, sleight of hand, Rylan. He could have put the blood on Erin. What if Erin never even went downstairs? Sounding feasible. Jack is annoying Joey. He got too close to her, but he seems to be walking away. Jack. I am liking all of his theories. He's got the motive for Rylan was wanting to buy the foundation, but Lyle was, Rylan was wanting to buy the foundation, but Lyle was holding out. And like I said, Lyle saw Rylan as the bad seed that was just essentially ruining everything. Erin's not as impressed as I am, though, because she's saying that he's guessing too much. There, the camera seemed a little tilted. Okay, too many holes for Erin. Yeah, we still come back to the bloodied message, Christmas, and the needle mark, and the empty present. Oh, I guess it's not going to be that she was hypnotized, because he's calling that a pretty flimsy mystery if hypnotism is at the center of it. So maybe we're wrong with the hypnotism angle. He had a light bulb moment. Lyle never left his house that night. Okay, so yeah, he had his processes that flared up when he was stressed. Okay, our clue for the day is light bulb moment. I don't know what his light bulb was. Okay, we do know that it's not going to be Erin wasn't hypnotized. So Lyle never left the house. We know that. So he wouldn't have had time to rig the guillotine by the time he cut himself off there. By the time she was arrested, or she would have discovered him, and he would already have to be dead. And he knows how she got blood on her. So he's saying we've got all the clues to figure it out ourselves, and he's not actually hiding anything. He's just not going to hand it to us. I don't. I'm going to go think this over for a minute or two, and I'll be back, and we'll move. Well, wait. Actually, it's not the 24th yet. But the chapter, we've got our grid here with all the clues filled in except for the last one. And our chapter's Life's Not Fair. So in case he's about to give us the clues, I'm gonna go think on it a few minutes. Then we'll come back and okay, I'll be right back. Okay, before we move to our new spot and continue on in the book, let's take a look at all of our clues so far, because I'm wondering, if you read them across, Erin, Flea, Wax Bullet, Needle, Comic Sans, it doesn't really trigger anything for me or spark anything. But what if we read them down? So Erin, December 12th, invisible, glass, and wince. I don't know how she relates to December 12th. That was the day that Donish was fired. So I don't tie her in there, but she wasn't there. She wasn't part of that. And there was glass in the kitchen. And if anybody's going to wince, it's Erin, because she's in jail. So maybe a stretch on that row. But on the next one, we have Flea, passion creates change, 1:30 a.m., fired, and Christmas. So we know Flea was Donish. He fled, and he was fired. So the passion creates change is him being fired. That's a change. He doesn't work there anymore, even though that was the password for the computer. And was he there at 1:30? And something's going to happen on Christmas Day that might be our next murder that's going to happen, like I think it was Megan was suggesting. But the next row, that's the one that really kind of got my attention, because we've got Wax Bullet, paper. The Wax Bullet was written on the paper that was torn out of the book. The blue box is empty. Dead man's present. That's definitely related. And bad alibi. So does Rylan have a bad alibi? So all of that stuff definitely refers to Rylan's murder. Okay, so our next row we have needle, a light bulb moment, notebook, bread and milk. So I don't really know the significance of the bread and milk. I don't remember that. That was obviously in their fridge back home. And the needle mark was on Lyle. The light bulb moment refers to, of course, Ernest himself. And we've got the notebook that the page was taken out of. The notebook was that Sean's notebook or was that Christopher's? So those are, one of these items might be what causes Ernest's light bulb moment that I am not having myself. But our last row, we've got Comic Sans, which was referring to that email. And I wonder if the significance of the font is that font completely different from what Lyle used in all of his other correspondence in his email? Is that not his default one that's supposed to maybe indicate there's something funny with his email? And then we've got the report your own murder. And again, we don't know if Lyle was reporting his own or if he was reporting Rylan's. And then puddle and red-handed. Those two go together because the puddle was the blood from Rylan's decapitation and red-handed, blood on your hands. So maybe there's something in it by reading down the columns that actually unlocks all of this, but I am not seeing it. And I want to know if anybody else kind of played with this and thought that there's something in there, but I wonder if it's going to turn out that it was staring us in the face all along, right here on this page. So, I don't know. Let's go to the Life's Not Fair, and then maybe we'll get a few more answers. I have a feeling I'm just going to be more befuddled. So he solved it. Oh, so he's going to... Ernest is going to toy with them a little bit. And under the doors of the dressing room, he sent them a note saying, and for my final trick. So he's inviting them somewhere 8 a.m. December 24th. And we're bringing Josh back in so he can have the exclusive. He took something from Sean's workshop. So it was Sean's notebook. Okay. Except for my minor transgression in the last chapter, you have all 23 pieces to find out what's behind door 24. Should have everything you need to excuse the pun and take a stab at it. So here we are, the final door. So maybe I was right. The answer is within these clues. But I don't know what it is. I'm ready to be wowed. Okay, let's move. And then we'll do December 24th, chapter 24, Christmas Eve. All right, we're now in my dining room. You can see a little corner of it. And this is my extra bookcase where my grandparents' books and everything are, and journals and whatnot. And everything lands here that I have no idea where else to put. So hopefully it's not just full of dust and, don't look over there. Enjoy Santa. And you can see up there I still haven't taken down my pumpkin diamond painting that was up for Thanksgiving and fall. So, I don't know. Anyway, the important thing is we get to find out who did it. So, December 24th. I keep forgetting about Flick. I wonder, I don't know. Or Christopher. Christopher wasn't mentioned much. Maybe it was him. So, it looks like he's leaning towards Teresa because he's banking on Teresa protecting Sam no matter what. So I wonder if he thinks that Teresa is our culprit. They'd all just gathered, by the way. So he's got them all on a cable car. That was a dramatic place to reveal who did it. Pretty smart. Privacy, nobody can run. So at each dock, he's going to let off those I've deduced to be innocent until we whittle it down to the final culprit or culprits. Little theatrical, but I'm sure you'll agree fitting. I love that. Although if you were one of the first people let off, you'd be like, well, wait, I don't know who did it. 6 of the 7 of you wanted to kill Riley and Blaze. 2 of you tried and 1 succeeded. And they all had a motive. So yeah, he's wondering why Flick didn't want to sell. Yeah, for Sam, Blaze was dangerous for her recovery. And Teresa, we know, will do anything to protect her little sister. Danish thinks that Rylan got him fired. Oh, and he's saying that Rylan isn't the one who got Danish fired. It was actually Flick. And Rylan's dead, so Lyle isn't. If I am deducing this right. So it looks like Flick has been embezzling from the foundation. And that's why Lyle was actually overvaluing the company by $500,000. So Flick has been a bad little girl. Getting Flick fired and embezzling. Oh, so she shifted the blame by planting the ring in Danish's bag. And told Lyle he had stolen it. Oh. So Lyle thought that they were dealing with property theft in reference to Danish, and Rylan thought it was a hole in the finances. They were counting on Danish's reaction that, he would just flow off the handle to where the explanation wouldn't be given of what he was being accused of. Pretty sneaky. That's why she didn't want to sell and why she wanted Ernest investigating everything, because he wouldn't look as closely. Okay, it was pretty easy to surmise that Sean was jealous of Ryland and resented him because, he's the one who comes up with all of the schematics for the magic tricks and all of that. And he does not like Ryland, and especially because Ryland doesn't even know how the tricks work. So that wasn't really revealing, but asking what year that Josh graduated from the foundation. So, he was a little bit more involved than just being a reporter on the side. And he was the journalist with his back to the photographer in the framed picture. So we pegged that early on. Yes. Okay, so it wasn't Josh. He's actually the first one let off because he was just trying to solve Lyle's murder. He felt that he did owe Lyle something. And that's why he was divulging all that information. Okay. But at least we did recognize him in the photograph. And I bet it killed the journalist to be the first one to leave. He wants the story. Yeah, he's fuming. Being left on the dock. Yeah, he's saying that they planned it together, killing Blaze. So Sean is smug because he's like, hey, Blaze wasn't killed by the bullet. It was by his head being chopped off. And it looks, I do remember Sean being really impressed that somebody was able to make the extra blade out of glass. He's saying that they pulled it off. So someone's been stealing his tricks for years, and now when someone's stolen your murder. So he's saying that his sketchbook wasn't full of tricks. It was full of weapons, ways that he was trying to figure out how he could disguise his death as a trick. So he was going to do the bullet switch as a way to kill off Rylan, and Lyle realized it. He knew that they were all plotting to kill him, and that was why he decided to sell the foundation. It was rotten to the core. If the people he was trying to help were all banding together to kill somebody. And I can't believe they worked Secret Santa into that. I never suspected that Secret Santa was actually part of the whole murder all along. And that's how they were able to be convincing to the police. Nobody knew who was actually going to be the murderer, who was going to pull it off. It was a hidden ballot. So they used Secret Santa to find out who would do it. So, and Flick confirms it. Yeah, so they agreed on the bullet trick. And so they drew their Secret Santas, and whoever pulled Ryland's name had to kill him. Dang, that's harsh, but I love that. Oh, and Flick's giving it up because she drew Teresa. She didn't draw Blaze, so she doesn't care if Ernest knows the whole plan. She's out to save herself. So the empty box is what made him realize it was Secret Santa, because why would you wrap a present for a dead man? So one of the women, is it Sam? And that's why she's been so bothered by everything. So the bullets were swapped. And only one of you, the would-be killer, knew who had pulled Ryland's name. But the rest of you expected that person had acted. Your actions on the night showed you knew too much. Sam tried to have me intervene. Oh, okay, so it wasn't her. She was trying to stop it. She was having a guilty conscience. Everybody thought that the bullets had been switched, just like we did. And Sean didn't want anybody to touch the gun because he expected it to be loaded with a live round. And he was surprised that Flick had invited Ernest. And that's why Teresa wouldn't let Sam stand in front of the gun. She wasn't protecting Ryland. She was protecting her sister. And Donna said, how did you know about the bullets? You're saying that the real bullet's still in the gun. So Flick, Donish, and Sean are being let off. So that leaves us what? Sam, Teresa, and Christopher. But we know it's a female. So we were right in thinking Sam and Teresa. Yeah. So it was her job to do it. So I think Teresa did it to keep her sister from having to. Yeah, and Sam was trying to swap gifts, but she wanted to swap with Teresa. She didn't want to be Ryland's Secret Santa. Yeah, so Sam didn't do it because she swapped the bullets. And we all know that the gun wasn't what killed him. Yeah, so she told Lyle what was going on. So that was the murder that Lyle was calling in. Oh, and somebody killed him as a warning to her. Sam and Teresa, time for her to hop off. So Christopher's left. And the murderer and I sailed over the gorge one last time. Christopher Sleet is our December 24th day. Or clue. But he said a female did it. And this is going back to, I forget who came up with it, that maybe wasn't really writing Christmas in the blood. That was Jack's head, by the way. And that is why I don't have ornaments on the tree. It hasn't fallen yet, but I think it's just a matter of time. Actually, I think Jack's considering jumping to the top of the bookcase. Or maybe not. He's just going to be a Christmas present. Although you can't see him, the little black void. Okay. Oh, so good. So Christopher did it. But we still got to find out what happened to Lyle. And I'm guessing Lyle's not actually dead, maybe? All right, let's finish it up in front of the tree. Look, we added a couple of ornaments. So festive. Okay, so great job, Tony, casting suspicion on Christopher way back when we got that Christmas hint from Lyle writing it on the ground. So let's find out why Christopher decided to kind of hijack everything and change it from being the bullet to the guillotine that killed Ryland. I'm curious about that. And we still got to find out what happened with Lyle. Oh, saying that despite 2 murders, he hadn't developed a knack for it. So I guess Christopher is also responsible for Lyle. Yeah, Lyle was dyslexic. And that's what he had asked Aaron at the police station. He had processes. It flared up when he was stressed. His dyslexia. Yeah, which is why he was kicked out of school. He had a learning disability, and they didn't know back then. And Comic Sans is one of the best fonts to use for dyslexia. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I personally like that font. I think it's fun and playful. I know that it's, you know, like you said, a joke of the typography world. I don't know why, but. So, firing Dinish stressed him out, so he misread the doors and he opened the 21st instead of the 12th. I think I threw that out there at the very beginning. Yeah, the true meaning of the word Christmas is important in any holiday special. Oh, so it was a plus sign in Christmas. He was writing Chris plus Sam. Brilliant. We didn't guess that. We just thought that somebody had added in the end of Christmas to it, but it was a plus sign. It was right there all along, and that's why the T looked funny. Oh, Sam got jumbled and turned into moss. That's why we didn't see it. Okay. Duh. And she confessed to him, so he called the police. He called Christopher for advice, and he came over and stabbed him. And he thought that they were in it together. Chris plus Sam. And I never mentioned the glass floor in this cable car. That would be... I would be a nervous wreck in that. I'm scared of heights. Yeah, he had to have seen the floor, the word on the floor for himself. Oh, the glass shards. Were those shards that fell off of Christopher's clothing after he rigged the guillotine while he was maybe sharpening the blade or something? Oh, the glass was the light bulb. And that's how he framed Aaron. Yeah, I completely forgot the socket was empty. We just went along with the syringe theory because he planted that and the needle mark. There was no soap in her bathroom. He used a syringe to put blood in the soap bottle. Oh, that's just evil, making her wash her hands in her dead boyfriend's blood. Brilliant, a bit evil. Oh, dang. I love Stevenson. Oh, has an artistic specialty in glass. And his burns are from molten glasswork. Killed him because he flinched. Oh, so Ernest was bugged. Everybody heard everything that happened. And Josh has his exclusive, and that's when Ernest got shot. I forgot at the very beginning that said that he was bleeding from his chest, I believe from a gun wound. But dang, that murder was brilliant. I never would have guessed that the syringe, poor Lyle, I was turning him into a junkie too. Dang. Okay, chapter 26. This is hopefully where Aaron will be released. So the gun was loaded with a wax bullet. Oh, he was banking on Teresa doing anything to protect her sister. Sam may have switched the bullets backstage, but during the show, Teresa had switched them back. She didn't want her twin to go down for murder. Twins aren't supposed to switch in a mystery unless you give her fair warning. And he did tell us that they would switch in a way. Yeah, so, they had to be pretty close together in a cable car. There wouldn't be room for the bullet to dissipate. And would it dissipate? I'm assuming it's cold up in that cable car. So maybe, the impact wasn't as bad as it would have been. So he reloaded the gun. Cops and everybody are there. He fired down into the glass floor. And it just leaves a chip in the glass. Oh. And the glass floor gave away beneath them. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Man. Okay, we got an epilogue. Oh, he held onto a railing. Okay, it was far enough that it was only a third of the wax bullet, but it punctured his lung. Ow. And they actually got a picture of Chris falling to his death. I would assume he fell to his death. Said they were pretty high up. Okay, so Flick was arrested because she committed a crime embezzling Danish, Sam, and Teresa and Sean. Since the bullet didn't actually hurt anybody, it was difficult to charge them. I'm kind of glad about that. Yeah, and Christopher gave everybody else a second chance. Yeah, even saying, I can't believe you thought Erin was hypnotized. We all thought she was hypnotized. Oh, he's got a Christmas present from Secret Santa, and it felt a little light. He said he'll open that one last. Oh. What's it? Ow. Love this. Okay, we've got our rules for the holiday special. 7 commandments. This is how he started. Everyone in my family has killed someone. He started at the very beginning to get the 10 commandments that Richard something came up with the help of Agatha Christie and whatnot. It explains it all, and I loved that aspect of the book. We did learn the true meaning of the word Christmas. I loved that the rules were cute, but it lived up to what I was expecting from Stevenson. I had a really hard time at the beginning with the short chapters, and again, I think that's because December has been unusually busy for all of us. But I absolutely loved it, and I got the unexpected twist at the end that I was really hoping for, because that's how the other books are. So if you've enjoyed this, I highly recommend for the 50th time to go and read the other 2 in this series. But yeah, no way I would have come up with the way that Lyle died. No way I would have guessed the syringe was used to put blood in the soap. Brilliant. So unique. And such a fun little Christmas mystery. Even though it was, I will say, it was kind of light on the Christmas, but I was okay with that. I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I did. And let me know if you were taken by surprise as much as I was. So, and I guess at this point now, it's time to say, Happy New Year. I hope 2025 will just be incredible and as full as magic as your Christmas was. And I hope to see you very, very soon. And the next one, which, if all goes well, will be a bingo maze. We'll see if I can pull it off. This is the only book I've read so far this month. Yeah, it hasn't gone well. But I'm hoping to play bingo maze maybe starting on Christmas Day or the day after. We'll see if I can pull it off. All right. I will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for joining me. Good call, Tony.